Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge and financial freedom. I hope everyone's having a great Friday so far. I woke up extra late. That's why I had to push the show back just a little bit further because I was not prepared. So I had to get my face together, had to get a little bit of caffeine in there, and that's why I pushed the showtime back. But we are going to talk about some of yesterday's data for today, and we're going to talk about today's data drop because we do have some more heavy data coming out today. Could push things a little bit lower. But first, you know what I got pulled up for you. I got that stock heat map pulled up for you so we can get prepped for some success today. You know, we are seeing a little bit of some green in the pre-market so far. We've got Apple sitting up 0.48% so far in the pre-market. We've got Nvidia up 0.53 this morning. We've got Berkshire Hathaway up 0.2%. We've got Amazon sitting up 0.9% right now after a massive close towards the upside, 2.42%. Eli Lilly also sitting in the green this morning, up 0.33%. We've got ExxonMobil sitting up 1.49% off of its close and sitting up 0.15 in the pre-market so far. We've got Tesla looking quite neutral this morning so far, up 0.35. We've got PNG also looking like it's remaining quite neutral, sitting to the downside 0.21 off of its close and sitting up this morning 0.21. So looking like no change on the board for that so far. We've got Microsoft sitting up 1.05 in the pre-market, seeing some light selling pressure, down 0.03. We've got Google sitting quite drastically towards the upside, 1.71%, and continuing on that upside this morning, up 0.42. And to wrap that on out, Meta also sitting quite drastically towards the upside, up 2.46%, and continuing with some buying pressure this morning, up 0.76. We've got the crypto side of things looking quite red. You know, we did talk about some sideways momentum for Bitcoin. That's what we got. And while everything was kind of moving a little bit sideways for Bitcoin, we did see quite a bit of red here on this daily. Nothing extremely red, so nothing too concerning so far. But we will kind of have to see how today's data drop sends things, because we did get a nice cool down on those fear and greeds as well. Bitcoin sitting down 0.2%, Ethereum down 0.2%. We've got XRP down 3.7%, BNB sitting down 0.2%. We've got Solana sitting down 1.3%. We've got Tron sitting up 0.2% right now. We've got Doge sitting down 0.5%. Cardano sitting down 1.2%. We've got Hyperliquid down 0.5%. Bitcoin Cash remaining quite steady, 0% on that daily, looking a little red on the hourly though. We've got Sui sitting down 0.9%. We've got Chainlink down 0.3%. Leo token getting some green and some buying pressure coming its way. Not too unexpected, as we know it is that exchange token which people kind of fly to for a little bit of safety when things are going down. We've got Avalanche taking a spot in that market cap from Stellar, up 0.5%, while Stellar Lumens is down 1.9%. And then we've got TON sitting up 0.2%, and Shiba Inu sitting down 2.1%, and Litecoin holding that top 20 spot from HBAR, sitting down 0.8%. For our fear and greeds, we have cooled down quite a bit on the stock side. Looking at 62 and some light greed. Crypto side of things also cooled off. 65, just looking at some light greed after we've got quite a bit of sideways momentum. Taking a look at the liquidation heat map, looks almost exactly what we were looking at yesterday. We've got that liquidity towards the top side at 108,500 and liquidity to the bottom side at 106. Definitely two levels I've been keeping my eye on. We've got this 3-day with that liquidity sitting directly to the top side still, kind of looking the same for that 1 week. We've got that liquidity directly towards the upside. 108,800 is going to be that top side for that top side liquidity. So pretty much the exact same levels we were talking about yesterday. Let's hop over to this economic calendar real quick. Not a lot of heavy data, but some heavy data today. We do have core PCE price index month over month and year over year coming out at 8:30 Eastern time. That will be our big watch for the morning, looking like no change on the forecast from prior on that month over month, but that year over year looking to increase from 2.5% to 2.6%. And our PCE price index month over month and year over year, with personal income month over month and personal spending month over month also looking a little bit negative. We do have that year over year non-core increasing from 2.1% to the forecast of 2.3%. Definitely heading in the wrong direction there, while your month over month remains quite flat. Kind of positive on that month over month, but that year over year is a little worrisome. We do have personal spending and personal income month over month heading in the wrong direction if you're looking for some rate cuts. Personal income month over month, a massive decrease on that forecast, was 0.8% prior, looking like 0.3% for this forecast. And then we have personal spending month over month was 0.2% last time, looking like a decrease to 0.1%. At 9:15 Eastern time, we got Fed Cook and Fed Hammock speaking today. So something to keep your eye out. We will kind of see what their risk sentiment is for those rate cuts going forward after we got some heavy data this week. We also have Michigan consumer sentiment coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So another thing to kind of keep your eye on for the morning. All right, let's hop over to the Bitcoin chart and say good morning to the people. And then we can hop into yesterday's data drop. We've got Jesse Gluck in here saying good morning, good morning. Good morning to you, Jesse. We've got Dylan VA in here as well. Good morning to you, sir. Let's see. We got Crypto Billy in the house. Good morning to you. We've got K Diggity in here as well. Good morning to you, sir. Let's see. We've got I'm not sure how to say your name, but we've got Fekur in her. So good morning to you. And let's see, nobody else. Let's move from top chat to live chat. See if we got anyone else. Looking like, oh, K Diggity says your makeup looks great this morning, BC. Totally worth the extra rate. Well, it wasn't so much makeup as it was shaving, because, this hair grows out of control sometimes. You go to bed and you're like kind of clean shaven, and then you wake up and you're like, why do I have that 5 o'clock shadow? It's not 5 o'clock yet. But we got this Bitcoin chart looking like we're trying to bump up against that resistance we were talking about yesterday. We did get quite a bit of sideways momentum underneath the resistance that we were talking about at 108,200. Seeing a little bit of some hopium here as our MACD still is sitting above our indicator line here on the daily, starting to print some green candles here on the histogram, and your prime oscillator sitting in the green here as your money flow continues to remain in the green, and your volume looking like it's finally starting to pick back up here. So definitely waiting to see what happens after this weekend. See if we get some continued sideways momentum, maybe a quick pop above that 108,200 to grab some topside liquidity, and then really see if we can turn this potential resistance area into some support and go for our next leg up, or if we really just go into our summer lull. We do have that 4-hour looking quite similar, where things are looking a little bit toppy, but you do have the potential for that bounce up. You do have your money flow continuing in the green here, really holding up quite nicely. Your volume holding up quite nicely as well. You've got your prime oscillator and MACD cooling off, but it does look more like with this cool off, you could get a quick switch back towards some upside momentum if you have some strong money flow coming in on that shorter term time frame. We will be watching that PCE data this morning to kind of see if we can get that strong pop back to the upside, grab some of that top side liquidity, and then see if we can set this 108,200 as the bottom of our sideways range for the weekend. You do have a little bit of sideways momentum here on that MACD and a little bit of some continuation here on the prime oscillator. So make sure to watch that shorter term time frame liquidity, see if we and money flow to see if we can get that pop back up above 108,200 and really change what the sideways range is for the weekend. You do have that 1 hour looking quite nice for some bottoming here. Here we go. Let's get that zoomed in a little bit better. As you can see, we've moved quite nicely in the sideways range we had talked about yesterday, and looking at some resistance down there. But we have started making some lower highs, but that does look quite nice for that MACD and prime oscillator as they have cooled off quite heavily. You can see here that MACD is back below our zero line, but getting some nice sideways momentum there. So waiting to see if we can get that money flow to come back in here, because we did see all of this money flow coming on in. Has slowed up just a bit here. Your volume is quite low as well, but that does bode well if we can see that money flow and volume coming back in for that nice clean grab of that top side liquidity. If not, we do have all of that liquidity that was sitting right here at that $106,000 mark as well. Nice easy grab to the downside, and then try to grab that liquidity towards the upside would be an easy way for the market makers to really sweep both sides. Let's take a look at the 15-minute and what the morning might be bringing our way here. And this 15-minute and the morning looking like we're really going to have to watch this money flow. Money flow is sitting down, volume increasing here, and really waiting to see if we can get that MACD back above our indicator line and continue toward above that zero line as well. We are sitting below our VWAP right now, and we're waiting to see if we can get that pushback above it as well. Things have been moving quite sideways, and you've been seeing it cool down quite nicely. So really waiting to see if we can get that money flow with volume here this Friday after our data drop. Going to be at that 8:30 time frame Eastern to see if we can get that nice quick volatility towards the upside or the downside here. We could really send things in either direction. I would favor a grab of liquidity to both sides, so watch out for that volatility. We do have that sitting right here at 106, and then we have that liquidity that is residing up around this resistance area we had talked about yesterday. All right, we got any alt requests for me today? Go ahead and drop them in the chat. If you do, I can take a look at a few things this morning. We've got 5:15 on my end, and we got to head over to that morning motivational mindset video here in just a second. I've got that redirect all set up like always, so hope to see y'all there. I am streaming to X for the first time, so if you're over there on X, you won't be redirected, but if you hop over here to YouTube, we will redirect you directly over to that morning motivational video with Crypto Billy. Let's hop over to some alts. I see Ada in the chat. We can definitely take a look at that one, and I see Shui in the chat as well. So let's take a look at some Ada. Let me get over to the right one. There we go. We've got Ada looking quite battered down. We did talk about some of these levels though, and we've been talking about them for quite a while, waiting to see if we can really find some stronger support to the bottom side. Let's get this on down all over again. We've got things looking quite battered down, with that MACD sitting below our indicator line, really breaking towards that 51 cent point all over again. We did talk about the potential of breaking a little bit lower than that, where we have this line drawn out at 45 cents. Kind of waiting to see what happens as we get back down towards the platinum pocket though. We have been seeing this be a nice support area for Ada over and over, with little sweeps below it for liquidity grabs. Let's take a look at a shorter time frame. We've got that hourly pulled up. Computer updating things in the background. There we go. We've got this hourly pulled up here, waiting to see if we can continue towards the upside with some positive money flow. It does look like it has been cooling down quite nicely, and we might try to see if this money flow sends us back down the same way that we were looking at some downside action first on Bitcoin, and then grabbing that top side second. So platinum pocket coming in at that 53 cent point. You've got your MACD with some nice curvature here. Your prime oscillator really running out of steam as your volume remains quite low for Ada. So waiting to see if we can get that money flow coming back in, or if we're going to continue to have low volume and that selling pressure really overwhelms things. So waiting to see on that 15-minute as well. We continue to get this sideways momentum directly under a resistance area. Waiting to see how cooled off we can get this prime oscillator and the MACD. Prime oscillator moving quite sideways here as your volume's just starting to increase. Waiting to see if that comes with some positive money flow for Ada. You do have your MACD and your indicator line remaining below the zero line here, sitting below our indicator line as well, looking like it might break a little bit more to the downside if we don't get that positive money flow to really hold things up and continue with the sideways momentum. 54 cents looking like an area we found some support at with this sideways momentum. Really waiting to see if that holds up again, or if we roll back over towards that platinum pocket and then grab that top side liquidity. So morning really could go either way. Could grab that top side first and then head back down. Same thing with Bitcoin. I would favor a little more downside as we are making lower highs and kind of holding up on some of that bottom side as well. So that's just with that Bitcoin chart, kind of making those lower highs, making those lower lows, looking like things might be heading to the downside to grab that liquidity first, and then heading towards the upside to grab all that liquidity. We got Ada Ace in here. Good morning to you, sir. He says, I'm in a long right now. Well, hopefully that plays out to your benefit, sir. Was looking at a little bit of some downside, but definitely got the potential for some volatility today with the data drop. We've got Blocky in the house. Good morning to you. Oh, Loco for crypto. There we go. It's kind of hard to read some of these small names. I thought that was Blocky. We've got Loco for crypto in the house and Robert Mulligan in the house as well. Good morning to you guys. Hope you're having a great day so far. Jesse saying dog was looking juicy. Oh my goodness. You and your degen coins, sir. We will take a look at SWI first. As someone else said, you mean SWI, S-U-I. Yeah, that's definitely what he means. But he was having some fun with it. He goes, SWI. But yeah, it's kind of fun to say it like that. So I understand why you typed it like that, sir. Let's get SWI zoomed on out to a higher term time frame there. Take a look at that one day. Things are looking quite similar across the markets here. We do have that lower high being made as we try to bounce up against a resistance area, turn it back into some support here. We did talk about $2.78 being that area to kind of watch for. We are moving a little bit to the downside below that, but it comes with having your MACD way more cooled off and your prime oscillator as well being extremely cooled off here, unlike some of those other assets we had looked at. So SWI does have a little bit of some upside potential here with some money flow coming back in. We are making a higher low here. We do have this lower high here as well that we are watching. Lower high, and we have the potential to make a first higher low. So we're really watching this with our money flow for the morning. All right, let's zoom this on into that 4 hour, see what we're looking at there. Loco for crypto saying, I don't know how my name switched. Let's see. Donato Cabrera. Oh, yeah, I don't know what's been going on, but YouTube has everyone's names switched. Like K Diggity is the real K Diggity, and then let's see, Jesse Gulak. I know he changed his name back. So Crypto Billy is Crypto Billy 777 instead of Crypto Billy 111. And then we've got like Dylan VAs is Dylan VA 6055. So I don't know what YouTube did, but it switched everyone around. That's why I thought it was Blocky Crypto for a second, because when the letters are super tiny, it kind of looks like LOB. And then there's a 4 in there, so it kind of threw me off. We got that 1 hour. No, this 4 hour looking quite nice as well. Extremely cooled down on the 4 hour, getting some curvature back towards the upside, but we are sitting in the red. We are sitting with those red candles printing here on the MACD's histogram as well, looking for some continued sideways momentum here in the short term to wait to see if we can get that higher term time frame to really pop stronger towards the upside. Let's zoom this 1 hour in. 1 hour looking a little bit toppy here as well, as Cardano's was. We are seeing a nice strong divergence here as volume is just starting to increase, but your money flow is starting to decrease. So really waiting to see what kind of momentum we get for the morning. We do have I guarantee a lot of liquidity that is residing right above all of the highs from here. We've got that $2.86. So if we do get above that $2.78 point, we could sweep that top side liquidity and then push back down, really grab some of that liquidity that's towards the bottom. I do have this strong buying area, below our platinum pocket as well if you don't hold up that platinum pocket, coming in at about $2.25 for the top side. Jesse Gluck saying it might be a bug. YouTube has been acting quite weird. I don't know what's been going on with it. Let's take a look at the 15-minute and the morning and what Shui might be bringing our way. And this is where looking like that bottom side grab of liquidity would be something to kind of watch for here first before you get that move back up. MACD and prime oscillator both looking quite similar here with that rolling over action here. You've got some divergences stacked up on that MACD as well as the prime oscillator, as getting those divergences stacked up with 3 reversal signals having flashed here on that prime oscillator as well. Volume slowing down quite a bit here on the 15-minute, but that's not too unexpected as it is that in-between time between Europe and America open. So kind of waiting to see if we get that move back down to $2.52 before we get that move back towards the upside. We do have an area that we've been holding up quite nicely in between that, which is that $2.58. You can kind of see it right here. If I could draw a straight line for the life of me, got that $2.58 point where all of these equal candle bodies have been stacking up, and you do have those small wicks to the downside on that. So waiting to see if we hold that area up and then kind of continue with some sideways momentum to cool these off, or if we get that stronger sweep towards the downside, really clear out liquidity and then get that pop back towards the upside. Let's see. K Diggity saying wild. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube's always weird. Sometimes it works absolutely perfectly. Sometimes it's like, sir, your stream key frequency is all messed up, and it tells me that everything's messed up, but it looks completely fine to you guys. I don't. And then there's other times where it just adds new features in randomly and doesn't let anyone know. Like this whole XP thing. I like it, but it's definitely a little bit weird. So I see K Diggy. We've got Jesse Gluck as number 1. As always up in the chats. We appreciate you here, Jesse. I was taking a look at Circle yesterday. I believe we talked about wanting to see some lower levels. We got that nice little resistance at the top side of our CME gap, sitting at that $225 point, where we saw some heavier resistance coming in, and then we're now sitting back below towards the midline. We are waiting to see, because that pre-market is opening back up towards that golden pocket on our fib extensions. Waiting to see if that's going to be some resistance all over again, with how that 1 hour is looking with some sideways momentum here. Your prime oscillator is sitting in the green, but your money flow is still coming on out, you know. Circle did rip, I think it was like 400 some odd, almost 500% towards the upside. So seeing some continued sell-off is not that concerning. Your money flow does look like it's continuing to roll over, and this might just be a quick pop back towards the upside and then push it quite a bit lower. Cement this as some stronger resistance for Circle before we really see if we can close a little bit further to the downside, kind of cement this 50% line. That was some strong resistance above this old CME gap that we haven't closed, as some support there, and then get that stronger move back towards the upside. You do have that 15-minute and the morning looking like it's quite battered down as well on both that prime oscillator and MACD. You've slowed down quite a bit on that volatility up and down, looking to potentially see that quick move towards the upside at around that golden pocket on the fib extension, and then see if we can get that continued cool off. You do have a hidden divergence here as well, waiting to see how that morning really opens up with that PCE data, and then see if we can push things a little bit further to the downside, bring in some extremely strong money flow back at that 178 price point. That's where we're seeing that 200 moving average coming into play on the 15-minute. All right, it is 5:29 and about time to wind the show on down. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning on in. Looks like we've got 2 people over on X. I appreciate you guys tuning in over there as well. I hope to see y'all at the next one. Next week will be a short week as, we got some holidays coming in. People are going to be doing some traveling. I'll be doing some traveling on Friday. So there will be no show on Friday next week. But I will see y'all bright and early Monday morning to get prepped for some success for the week. I hope to see y'all in the chats on all the other shows at the Piper Academy. We've got that morning market report at 10 a.m. Eastern time. It is Friday, though, so we've got no markets after dark with Lunar Beach's crypto, but he will be getting started on Sunday all over again at 11 p.m. Eastern time. We still have, I believe, trading with OC at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I know he did his last one in his series, so hopefully we see something coming new out of that. And a great place to learn some TA for our late night folk. We do have that morning motivational video starting in just a second. You will be redirected directly over to that, and I'll see you in the chats. Make sure to wake up today, because today is going to be a good day.